What's up, guys? It's Lorenzo Don from Style of Boogie, TMF, and of course, Loft Unlimited.
Kid T, Rockwell Association, Incredible Breakers, and obviously Hidden Faces.
So, today, I am proud and humbled to interview another guy. I'm not going to say he's my mentor because I didn't grow up with him, but once I knew about him, intrigued to the fullest of the guy. If you want a poster child for anyone in the Boricua community, this would be the guy to be the poster child, man. I mean, as far as, comes from the Bronx, streets, dancer, to being a detective, and, to being there when Hurricane Maria was in Puerto Rico. He was in the relief program. This guy teaches people how to save people from bridges. He was this morning before he came. He was up on the Whitestone Bridge teaching a class. So, if you want a heroic Boricua, you're looking at him. His name is Tony Otero, a.k.a. Tony Prince Street Lofter, a.k.a. Pastor Pachanga. That's my man. And one of the only guys that I won't dispute that behind the scene that he loves ketchup on his pasteles, and I do not.
Yes, ketchup and pasteles.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like flan, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure meeting you, man. It's the first time I ever met you.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank
definitely
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you. Oh, Storm, you know me and you, man.
And so I'm going to start this off by saying he's known in the community, which I'm from, and you guys know it's the Loft community, Loft Garage, and Loft style of dancing, meaning it wasn't just about the loft and the garage. It was about people that were in the era that danced the style of loft, which I will ask him later if we have the right to call ourselves that and to use the terminology loft or lofters. I've had the privilege of dancing with him, seeing him dance. I'll make this brief. When I first got pulled back into the scene, I started with the Loft Unlimited thing from Jump Street, and he posted a picture of these two guys, and they had the shirts on. It said Loft, and then the other guy Unlimited. So my ego sunk in from 35 years ago, and I was like, what? Who's this? I come out again, and all of a sudden somebody's trying to...
They stole your
They stole my
click,
name.
man, your dance click.
And I was looking for the guy, and I found who it was, and it ended up being him. And then he has a small group of guys that are fucking amazing dancers as well, and they have something called Lofters Unlimited. Right? We were Loft Unlimited. And it has nothing to do, but instead of my pride feeling diminished, it was feeling diminished, I should have said, damn, another guy, that Loft, or even if he was Loft Unlimited, he has the right to use it. And my ego, like I said, took over. I responded, terribly. My apologies to you.
No problem.
I've always wanted to
as a former,
and even if it was Loft Unlimited, bro, I don't have the right to hold on to that, and you have every right to use that, bro.
as a former street dancer myself, I'm always don't have the full knowledge of lofting, and you don't even hear that term nowadays. Like nobody, if I tell somebody, Lofter, you know Lorenzo Lofter, the loft killer, and they be like, loft, what's loft?
Yeah.
So they don't even know what loft is. They changed it, they evolved to so many. I think it's house music, house dance or something. So, but loft is actually the essence of the dance, correct? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. No, so
listen.
Yeah, it's a whole. I always say the loft is a way of life. That's how I always looked at it. Because when you have the same group of people who've been going to the same space and dancing together for 40, 50, well, actually, the first loft was on Broadway, so you got some people that's still around from that era, and you're talking,
in their 60s.
Yeah, they're in their 60s,
yeah.
And they come to the loft party still. So it becomes a way of life.
Wait a minute. You saying they still having loft parties today?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
I told
yes,
you,
absolutely.
my Sundays were all considered loft.
Yeah.
But that wasn't recently.
No, the last party they had was the 50th 50th year was in February. It was the 50th anniversary of the loft. They opened up both floors. They have the party now. It's at the Ukraine Center. It's over by 2nd Avenue, over down in the village.
Yeah. 2nd Avenue and 4th Street.
And 4th Street.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so...
Or maybe you told me and just,
50th year.
The parties that I started doing, the Get Your Groove on Sundays, were Loft Unlimited inspired, and everything that Range Production does, Prince and King, Parquet and Powder, all of these are considered loft for loft heads.
Yeah.
Now what I want to ask you, Tony, because I started in '79, right? So I'm a second generation dancer.
Yeah.
You're definitely also a second generation.
Yes.
Because you're a little younger than I am.
Yes. I went to the loft on Prince Street in 1980. I was really underage. I don't want to say my age. I know I look like I'm 30. But I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not.
You don't look a day over 29.
I had a funny story. Believe it or not, there was a guy. We were at a loft party a couple of years back, and he's like, "Yo, this documentary called Maestro came out, and I was in it." But he's like, "Yeah, there's this guy. I'm trying to find him. He had curly long hair, man. He was nice and blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "Come on, man, stop. You're on drugs, man. Cut it out. Is he here?" And I'm like, "Dude, that was me. I was 190 pounds lighter, and I had hair. So you know what I'm saying? It happens.
There's that famous clip. Believe it or not, bro. Yeah. That's the only clip.
Yeah.
Out there that represents fucking
it was
loft and loft killing. As far as floor killers.
I feel that there isn't enough people speaking about the loft, and the young dancers that I've seen online on social media and stuff, they don't even call it loft. They call it either freestyle or house.
But let me before I forget, let me interrupt you and say why that happens. I was talking to Tony behind the scenes earlier about this, that the first generation dancers, and I wrote this when if you see, I interviewed Pamela Cruz. I wrote the whole thing. The first generation dancers feel that this is, the loft and the garage was a sanctuary place for them, right? And loft style dancing, which they don't even call it that, it's freestyle to them.
Yeah.
It's an individual dance. In other words, the song goes on, and whoever feels that song expresses their feelings to that song. So how could you express the same, not feeling, but same movement, when my movement might be slightly different than yours or completely different than yours? And that's why I always say, no disrespect to the originators of this whole thing that took me out of the streets, which was loft style dancing, that I respect it, but I beg to differ in a sense, because I was saying to Tony that if you looked at, there's 3 types of dancers, I said to him. I said, there's the guys that were just dancing on top. Then there's the guys that were like floor killers. Then there's the guys like Tony and I that could do both, right? Those are the 3 kind of loft style dances. Now, of course it's freestyling, because you hear a song and you dance the way you dance. But I've always said this, and if you look at the other documentaries I'm in, I went, and if I loved what you did, I bid it. I went home, I perfected it, and I tried to make it different, because I was going to come the following week and let you see it, but different, and make you think I invented that shit. So I try not to use the word loft lightly, or lofters, because I know you use it too. I see you put lofters up for all you lofters.
Right.
Now, Tony, let me ask you something. How do you feel about using the word loft as a style? Now, do you consider it, I know you consider it a whole community, it's like a lifestyle in a sense. But would you say you're a loft style dancer? Are you a lofter? Or in your head, the word loft, lofters, lofting, how do you use it, and how do you break that down?
Okay, so it's like a twofold kind of thing, right? For me, so you'll see somebody go, "Hey, that's Tone, man. He's from the loft," right? They see me dancing, or they'll see me rocking out somewhere, and they go, "Oh yeah, you don't remember him? He's from the loft," right? And so lofting somehow just morphed into something where, okay, so then he must be dancing loft. He must be lofting. That must be a loft style, right? And then you look over on that side, you might see another guy that went to the loft, but most lofters we kind of like stick together. we're very bougie like that.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, but you know, oh yeah, I remember you from the loft. Yeah, boom, and you kind of like unite, and then you dance together, right? And people see that, and when they see that, they go, oh, so then if they're from the loft, then that's got to be lofting. That's loft style dancing. So the old guard, I say the old guard, I mean guys before me. Like I said, I went to Prince Street, singling you out.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, you know, who are these people teaching that? When you know, no man, that's our world. That's our culture, right? And I think with us, for me personally, is that at that time. It still is, you know, the loft it's not a commercial, it's not commercialized. It's not something that we wanted to get out to the world, that the loft is this great place. So it's like, you know, you guard it with your life. It's a secret. No, where you going today, Tony? No, I'm not going anywhere. Or can I go with you to the loft? Nope. I'm not taking you. You know, you don't want it to get commercialized. You don't want it to get like, you know.
But it never did, Tony.
No, I know.
We're teaching it now.
And so this is why back then I was like, I'm not with that. You know, and I've even was approached about, hey, why don't you come down, man, and teach some classes? And I took offense to it. I said, what? Me teach my stuff? No, it's no. That's, you know, it goes against the gods of the loft. But it doesn't bother me. I think that okay, here we go. And I like that. Hello. I think
It
that
happened once before.
that. If people want to teach a style of dance and they want to call it the lofting, they want to call it the loft style dancing, I want to be able, just like 50 years later, in February, we celebrated 50 years of the loft, yay. How is that going to continue if we don't
put it up?
We don't
pass it on. Correct.
If we don't pass it on, right, it was passed on to me. Right,
and it was passed on to me.
Right, so it was for me. Me, Will, Tab, Greg, the whole crew that were together all the time. You know, it was passed on to us, and why should I not pass that on to somebody else?
See,
so that's how I look at it. You know.
So do you also feel like what I said? If you thought about the process that I had said to you about, you know, going in somewhere. You know, I can go in somewhere and dance like this.
Right,
all night. And then all of a sudden, you guys come in and I see you dancing and I start trying to pick up your steps. And all of a sudden now I'm doing what you're doing. Bro, there is a right to that, right? That's my right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, there is a foundation to this. At the end of the day, like you said, I was one of the kids that went to the loft only a few times, but I picked it up really quick and I hung out with loft heads. So we took it to other places. This is where the style came from. I never said, this shit started at Barnes International because I was a Barnes guy. I've always said, I know this style that I learned how to do was from those cats that came from the loft. And to me, I took it as being honorable to be able to be taught or look and be able to emulate it, because it was a craft that needed to be seen by other people. And I know that you guys wanted to keep it within, but at some point, bro, even, you know, like let's say I went to the loft every week, but this week somebody says, hey, yo, Store, let's go to Barnes, let's go to Gotham's. If I go to Gotham's, so what am I going to do now? Dance different? Because I don't want to dance the way I danced at the loft?
And I'm glad you said that.
And that's how it expanded.
Right, and that brings me to that point where, so now I'm at the loft and I'm going, you know, I'm doing my thing and I'm evolving as a dancer and I'm starting to get famous. The ladies were screaming for me. You know what? But so now, you know, because I went to the loft religiously from 1980 till now. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am. But I did go to other clubs. I went to Bonds. I went to Sound Factory Bar. Ozone Layer, oh my God, some of the best times in my life were at the Ozone Layer in Brooklyn. You know, David Morales, man, what a party.
Dude, Ones,
all those, you know, and
the Bank, Mars,
right, and in there, you know, and also I met in the Loft, you know, like I said, there are DJs now that were at the Loft that are just, you know, Antonio Casio, Victor Rosado. Victor actually played at the Loft and in the Garage. Antonio was like phenomenal producer, man. Larry Levan was at the Loft. I used to see him at the Loft. I'm sorry for you guys. I didn't mention everybody. These are the only right now because there's so much emotions going on when I talk about the Loft, you know, and my family's tired. It's all the time. Oh, let me guess, the Loft. Oh, I know the Loft. Yeah, I know the Loft. The world don't exist, but the Loft. Even my ladies like the Loft again. And if we driving in the car, I hear a good song, like, whoa, man. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man.
But you don't hear that music anymore.
You don't.
That's why I threw my parties. Listen, DJ Rob Solo will tell you, when I met him, he knew nothing about this music.
Yeah.
By the time he was in my sixth party, he went from being a guest DJ to being the main DJ at all my parties. And I said to him,
did he play Gaslight?
Yeah, he played a Gaslight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right, my man.
So
he's coming on next. He's our next interview.
The point was, the purpose of me throwing these parties is because when they took me back, when Wiggles took me out of retirement and I came back into this circuit of music, I didn't hear the shit that I liked. All this new stuff, not that I don't like it, because some of it is good,
right.
But it didn't. My hairs didn't stand up.
Right.
So I had to say, I said, I got to throw parties where I can still have, because most of the people that came to my parties were either Loft killers like us, or people that were there. They didn't dance, but they were there anyway because they loved the music.
Right, and that's another thing.
And that's the key, right?
And that's another thing, right?
That's why I threw my parties.
And we can't discount the people that, they weren't dancers, but they went to the Loft for years. They still go to the Loft. They're not dancers, but their musical, their ear for music is amazing. And they've gone there too, and they've listened to the music. And remember, the Loft also, it's a social outing, right? It's an outing where people will go, and it's for them, it's a gathering of family. Right, so there are people that didn't dance at all. But I saw them every week.
I say the same thing about the b-boy because there's a big thing, in the hip hop world that b-boys were Bronx boys or breaker boys, and they came up with a boogie boy. They came up with so many things with the b-boy, right? But really,
the b-boy,
the b-boy. I knew lots of b-boys, right, growing up, who didn't dance. They didn't rap.
Right.
They didn't write graffiti.
It's a culture.
Right.
It was
a style. Right. They listened to the music. They liked the graffiti.
The lead jacket, the graffiti in the back.
Right. For Lou Rock said he was.
Right.
I'm just a b-boy.
A b-boy.
I'm just a b-boy.
It's a culture. It's a culture.
It's all put together.
And I'm glad you said that because there's plenty of lofters that didn't dance.
Right.
But man, there's some loft guys that have their loft historians. These guys can sit there and tell you that song is from this, to who made it.
That's Paul
this,
Cruz,
right. Range, big up to Range Music, you guys.
Chino,
you know, they know this shit. Chino, my bad. Oh my God. There's so many guys, like recently, Curly, you're right. Elvin,
my girl Curly.
Yeah, Elvin Reyes, who some of his records, $300. I don't know why he pays that much money for them. But it's the third vinyl, fourth edition of the last pressed. From the guy with the left hand with no fingers, he pressed that.
He used to bite his nails.
Y'all forget it.
One eye?
Yup, that's a classic rare, and that's in a gold case. So you have different people that went to the Loft.
Can I ask you a question?
And just real quick, so I would go to Ozone Layer, I would go to Bonds, I would go to Sound Factory, I would go, Thrillers, I would go anywhere I would go, and I would dance, right? And I would dance, they'll go, oh shit, where's that kid from, man? Oh, he's from the Loft. When I used to go to the Ozone Layer, where's he from? Oh, that's Tone from the Loft. That's Tab from the Loft. That's Will from the Loft. You know, my crew. So people would
groups
look
were mostly from Brooklyn.
Well, we're from the Bronx. So
Right, I know you were from the Bronx.
Yeah.
But you seem to be a rare.
Yeah. It was me, Will Quinones, Tab,
there wasn't
Greg.
a lot of Bronx
Yeah.
kids there, though. You're right.
You know,
It was Manhattan and Brooklyn.
It's funny. So in the Loft, you see the same people for 20 years, right? But you don't know. I don't know where they live,
where they work, their last names.
It was crazy because it would be at the park when you go to
like,
Washington.
what's up? How you doing, bro? All this other stuff. What's his name? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know his name. Or when we be talking about somebody, you know. I remember one guy was describing Stacy to me. He didn't know Stacy's name, but he was like, yeah, he has a hat. He was like real debonair. He would like slide across the floor, but he would have like a zoot thing going. I'm like, oh, you mean Stacy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then he was describing, he also was describing Nawab. He didn't know his name, but he was saying this guy would tap with bowling shoes. I saw that's Nawab, right? So we kind of don't know, we don't know each other's names sometimes, and we don't know what we do. And I'm like, oh, you a lawyer? Wow, yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were a lawyer. You a teacher? Oh, you're a doctor. You don't know these things because the music brings you together, and you don't care. There's no race, creed, color. Whether you're gay, you're not gay, you're straight, you're not straight,
Black, Asian, white.
you like chickens, you like cows. We don't care. Yeah. We don't care. You accept it. And like you said, when you brought up that documentary, "Come As You Are," we don't care who you are. Just come, sure. And we'll accept you. We don't care what you are.
I find that I find it all this amazing because again, like Story introduced me to that culture, and I didn't even realize the culture. To me, coming from the neighborhood that I was coming from, which is Cypress and Crotona.
Oh, I know Crotona.
That was my area right there. So when I met up with Store and he introduced the whole Loft thing to me and
Brooklyn.
Yeah, and Brooklyn and all this, it was all new to me. Like I didn't even know it went this deep.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know how deep this went. I just thought it was a bunch of, knuckleheads from Brooklyn dancing. And I liked this, so I started trying to doing it, but I was never good at it.
It's a long history. And talk about what you said, us passing it on, right? Mm-hmm. My 17-year-old can name you songs that he's so used to me saying, that's a Loft hit. Mm-hmm. That's a Loft, that play at the Loft, mm-hmm. that he understands what the Loft is. Right. And he's 17.
Just through the music.
Right, through the music, mm-hmm. right? And through me dragging him, lying to him, saying that I'm gonna go to Coney Island because I gotta meet a friend, because I owe him money, so I could get him to the boardwalk. Or lying to him saying, listen, we're gonna go to a range production party, or we're going to a Prince and King party. I'm only gonna be an hour, I promise. And so he's used to it, he's seen it, right? And he goes, Dad, I don't get it. Like, why everybody's like somewhere else? I don't want to tell him the other part, but I can't tell him the other part. I can't go there. I'm not saying that on film. Why are you like this? What? But it's just euphoric, man. You can't, you nowhere in the world like that. So for me, listen, you want to pass it on, you want to teach it, just make a good representation of it. Right. Don't water it down. And if you don't know what the Loft is and you want to start teaching Loft, then at least do your homework. At least come to one of the old guard and say, where was it? When did it start? How did it start? Like what we having this conversation now, it's not hard to find a Lofter. Trust me, it really isn't. Especially now with Facebook and all that. All right, but if you're gonna do something, do it right. Do it right.
Don't water it down.
Don't water it down. Don't start saying I'm a Loft teacher and you never.
I was amazed that they actually played the whole LP.
Yes, the whole LP, yes.
Stop, people will clap, and then he'll play another LP, and they're still doing that today. And that was amazing to me.
And I think for me, I view it like, okay, sometimes. So the way the Loft is set up now is you have the food. By the way, the Loft. Ozone. I used to go to Ozone later. I know David Morales did it. There was no place that gave you snacks when you walked in. So they had chips, the punch, They had cheese and crackers, and you always had something to snack on. Then after that, you have the meal. So they'll line you up, and they bring hot food. And what's on the menu, you know, they had chicken, pasta, vegan food, all that. And then after that, you get dessert and stuff like that. So that's in the front when
That's
you walk
right now,
in.
recently?
That's now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You so.
'Cause I can't imagine vegan food in the 80s.
So you get snacks in the beginning with lemonade, water, the punch. Then you get a full meal, and then you get dessert. They cut up cake. They bring cake, cookies, and all that. So that's in the front. So when you walk towards the front, right there is everybody in the loft, and Sterezo can attest to that. Everybody had their section, right? I like the section by the speaker. Some in the 99 Prince Street, some guys were upstairs, some people were downstairs. Everybody had their corner, right? And 3rd Street, everybody had their corner. Avenue A, 14th Street. Oh man, there was so many places. But anyway, it's at the Ukraine Center now over by 2nd Avenue. And everybody has their corner. So all the original loft heads or lofters hang out right behind where Dougie plays, right? But now, when Dougie or Cosmo or when, you know, now play a song that is your favorite, you go somewhere else mentally and you run to that middle of that floor, right? And now you're hearing the music and you're dancing, and then either you cry or you scream, or you get emotional, or you get this as us Puertorriqueños say, se te sale los santos, you know? You know, you get so crazy that when the song is over, you know, you need that time to say, okay, I gotta come back to earth now, you know? And I think he gave you that time, you know? When the song finished and you're like this, you're like, oh my God, thank you. And now you take that breath like, wow, ooh, man, what an experience that song was. And when going back to David on Prince Street, 3rd Street and on, when he played that song, and basically what he would do is the turntables were about this high. So he would have to lean up. And all he did was do this as the song played. And then you're in front of him and you're going off. I mean, you're going off. You're screaming, you're crying, you're dancing with a girl, you're not dancing with a girl, you're dancing with your boy. He does a handstand, you jump over it, he spits his leg, you jump over. All of a sudden, you slide under some girl's leg, you don't even know. She starts dancing with you, she's crying, she don't know why she's crying. And then the song stops, right? And then you just look at him and you go, and you do this, right? And now you come down, and then you're waiting. What's he playing? What's he playing now? Because he just puts the needle on, and then you start hearing it, and boom, you're back on that high again, right? So sometimes I want to go to the bathroom and I can't go because, that's, you know, what are you doing to me?
Usted me encima porque tanto sudor.
But that's the beauty, believe it or not.
Right. And people,
that's what the kids don't have today, the music.
And
Yes,
people will
I agree
scream
100% on
out.
that.
People will scream out crazy stuff, words or phrases that just made no sense. Like my claim to fame was, "This ain't your grandmother's party." I don't know why I would say it. I was like, "This ain't your grandmother's party," and then people would go, "Yeah, that's right." No idea why I'm saying it. You know, Archie would say some great stuff too. Archie Burnett, legend. He would say some. He had that deep voice, man. He still does. Sorry.
We have a fantastic DJ today, and I'm gonna have him play some music on dance.
Yeah.
He gonna be your grandmother's party.
So people would say things and scream out things, and and just everybody had their own thing,
No whistles.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own thing.
There was a guy that would
somebody had
just
tambourine.
Cat would do a tambourine. There was a few people.
Had something different.
Because probably when you guys
Right.
were doing the thing at the loft in the garage, I was in the roller skating ring, and that's where they would use whistles.
Yeah, whistles. Yeah. And what's unique about the loft is that you could not see someone. Let's say you just showed the body, right? And I could tell you, that's Fast Mike, that's Perry, that's Duke, that's Archie, that's Dahlia,
Just from the dance.
that's Pamela, that's man, guys, please, Stacy, Adeline. Brooksy. Just forgive me. There's so many names. There's so many people that influenced me and would just show me love throughout the years. But you can look and say, yeah, that's Fast Mike dancing, that's Perry dancing, that's Stacy dancing, that's Tone dancing.
In other words, if they threw the heads, they cut the heads.
You knew who was dancing.
Even
what?
If they changed their clothes.
Yeah, you knew. Who's spinning, because I spin a certain way, but he spins a certain way, and we knew each other. So that's what made it unique. And I think for me, the musical selection or the musical selector. When I spoke to Doug one time, Doug goes, I said, Doug, your selection is just incredible. He goes, I'm a musical selector. I never heard them say, oh, DJ David Mancuso or DJ Douglas Sherman or DJ Cosmo. They just, and if you look at the documentary Maestro, they just switch songs back and forth, But playing the whole song and clapping to some people that go for the first time, I had plenty of people ask me, hey, is he ever gonna mix a song?
Nope.
And I'm like, no, sorry, you came to the wrong place.
Yep.
Whereas in the garage,
they mixed.
Larry.
Right. And that was what I was used to. That's when you said they ended the song.
Yeah,
it's like a house party, basically.
The loft was a house party.
I think maybe one time I went to the loft. Maybe I can't even remember.
Everywhere.
I ended up going to a lot of clubs. But I never kept track.
Everywhere the loft was, to my knowledge and from what I remember, Prince Street, 3rd Street, Avenue A, maybe not 14th Street. I could be wrong. And but that was his residence. He lived there. He lived there.
That's why he was called the loft.
Right, and that's how he started the loft on Broadway. Was more like a rent party, and he'll play music, and he just happens to be a genius.
Musical genius.
Right, and when he passed, God rest his soul, a lot of us were left like, okay, what's gonna happen now, because you have. At the time when he passed, you have 40 somewhat years of people listening to David play. What's going to happen? And I think that I just want to give kudos to Douglas Sherman, Cosmo, people that put the loft together, the party now. It takes a lot. Loft Kid Lewis, that whole crew, Nori, everybody, Andrea that works, she works the food line. The setup it's a lot between the speakers, the music, the food, just the logistics of it. It's a lot. So
I agree, and I'll take that into the streets. From the 70s into the 80s, and maybe even the early 90s. I'm not sure 100% on that, but and Store knows that the music back then. And it wasn't just the records, it was the sound systems back then. They put so much into it.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
That was the emotion that you came out. So when I did my electric boogie, I needed that boom.
You need that.
Boom,
you need that facilitator.
That feeling inside.
You need it.
I just can't get up and boogie.
Yeah, you need that guy. You need that girl.
And we went to that one event. I don't want to name the name of it because I don't want to insult people. But that event, we went in there and I saw a bunch of talent. I saw tons of talent of young kids. And they were just throwing everything out at once. And I think I even mentioned to you at that moment, I said, they're throwing everything at once. But the music sucks so bad. The sound system is, because you could be a terrible DJ, but if your sound system is awesome, you know what I'm saying? One record, that's all you need, and everybody's gonna get up and move. But that sound system has to be there. Once that sound system's gone, you could be the greatest DJ in the world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't sound that way.
The sound system, it's what we were talking about music. They don't make. The kids today will never feel the music the way we felt it back then.
Big difference.
It's a big difference in music, man. And
culture
why,
too. I believe.
These kids are taught today to put everything they know in 3 minutes, because if someone's recording it, it'll go viral and make them famous.
Correct.
And where there was no such thing as none of that. We danced just to spend the night together with a bunch of friends.
Yes.
So listen,
you have no right.
Listen, because we can go on forever, and I hope we get a second interview.
You can get a third interview. I'm off on weekends now.
Listen,
He's hooked. He'll be Style Boogie. No more Loft.
Sorry. this is probably the hardest question.
Right.
Because there's so many. But let me give you the hardest question.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me a hard question.
Listen, this is just one. I'm asking you for one.
Talk me.
What is the one song?
Oh, but I got it though.
Yo, all right, the one song that brings you there, bro.
Oh my God. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm getting crazy.
The one song, because yo, I have 20 of them.
Yeah,
but just the one on top of the 20 that your hair that you literally will cry.
Yes,
because I got some that'll bring a tear out.
Yeah.
And I'm not being.
Nah.
I'm
a man. Oh man. Oh God, I'll never forget this. Love's Got Me Dancing on the Floor by Third World. Oh.
That's it.
See it? You see it? You see it? You see it?
Jam. It's a
Yeah.
good jam. Definitely.
Yeah.
We're gonna have someone play it for you in a minute. Get you down,
me
man.
dancing on the floor. Oh my God. I'm hooked. Now I don't know if that's the name of the song. I think I'm hooked on love. I'm not sure. Somebody correct me.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna put it for you. I'm gonna put you on there for 10 seconds.
It's gonna happen. Hell yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Listen, Tony, bro, there's like I said, I really want to elaborate again with you because this is getting really big in Europe. This whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
And I want them to get the proper information. So I'm hoping that you and I could do this again, maybe
Absolutely.
part two. This is part one and part two because there's so much more.
Yeah.
And and if you notice, I didn't interrupt a lot because I want you to just fucking.
Thank you. It brought some good memories back.
Right, and it needs to be said organically.
Yes.
Listen, if you notice, this is my script for Tony today, and all it says is his name, what he's known as, what he was doing before he came here. He was climbing the White Stone Bridge.
Yeah, that's right.
And the only one thing I had is what is the go-to song. Otherwise than that, everything is okay. And that's the way I want this to go forward in teaching or talking about the law and the law style of this great community that I had the pleasure of being on.
Oh man, it changed my life. And you're definitely gonna get a second interview. And since my lady's a seamstress, she's gonna open up my original farmer pants. She's gonna have to add a couple of yards of fabric. But I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna dress up like I'm going to the law. All right? Capriccio, all that good stuff.
I'll be on the side class. Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
And thank you, man. And listen, thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Good, this is good, man.